how's everybody doing today? I mentioned a couple of the videos about I reload, my own ammo. And I've got a lot of questions about how, why, what, and I do it the very simple, inexpensive way. This is a Lee single press, which means when I pull the handle, it does one thing at a time, and you have different dies for different things, and we'll all make different videos for the different ones, what you do. And I got the first die in here, and I'll show you what I did to size it and everything. But it's very inexpensive. I bought this as a kit, and it was the Lee 50th anniversary set, and it came with a couple different attachments and stuff like that, which is nice. Now, I did buy down here, if you see this here, let me do this so you can see a little better, this adapter. And this was like 40 bucks. So basically, I loosen up these two screws, I loosen up these two screws here, and I just slide this whole thing out so I can put it away. And this bottom part stays right here. If you hear a little raining out, I apologize. It's middle of December 21st, actually summer solstice. And it's raining down here in the North Texas area. And I got a new dog, she's fairly young, so she's got a lot of energy. So you might hear some running in the background. I apologize about that. It's another reason I'm outside. It's kind of cool, but let her to get a chance to run a little too. But this is the Lee single press. When I do it, one comes up. You can get a turret system where every time I pull it, it has multiple dies in your set. So every time you pull it, you're doing more than one thing at once, which if you do a lot of ammo, that's the way you do it. I don't do a lot of ammo, so it's not that big a deal. So the first thing you want to do with your ammo is you want to tumble it, okay? And here's a tumbler, okay? Simple little tumbler. This is a case tumbler made for it. You can get one at Harbor Freight, for about 20 bucks. Does the exact same thing. It's just a vibrating tumbler. And you can see here, I'll do this, you can see it's just got some media inside there. And you just put that in and that in. That's about all you do. It's pretty much that simple. But what that's doing is you're cleaning the case, okay? And the media I put in here is, you can get different media. You can buy special media just for that. But works just as good is you can get that walnut husk or shell at the pet store. And you can get a big, huge 5-pound bags for like $5-6 bucks. If you go get the exact same material at a gun store, you get a little 1-pound thing for about $15-20 bucks. Do the math. So basically, you fill your tumbler about, I'll turn this so you can see it here. You fill your tumbler about 1/3 to a half full of the media. You turn it on. You don't do anything else. And you want to put a polisher in there. Again, you can buy some big expensive brass polisher, but works just as good as this stuff here from your local auto store. And this here will last, I don't want to say forever, but it lasts a long time, because what I do is, if it's brand new media, I put 2 capfuls in and I let it spin for about 3 to 5 minutes before I add the brass. Now if I add 1/3 to a half, I know the amount, basically about the amount of shells. I can kind of eye it, but I will add 1 to 300 rounds when this is about 1/3 to a half full. That's about right. You can eye it. I always eye in the less of less, okay? But, and then after it's done, I have a strainer here. You can make your own. You just dump it in here over a container and shake it, and the rounds all, will stay in here like that, and this media will fall through. And then I just put the media back in here. Every other time I add it, I add 1 capful to the next time. So the first time I add it, I add 2. The second time I add, 1 capful. Now this media isn't good forever. Once it starts to get dingy, you will know, and I will say you will know the difference when you put it in and you start doing it, and you run it for 2 to 8 hours depending on how bad the brass is. And again, you do it till you like the looks of it until it's done. You will know when you do it and it's not working anymore. Usually you'll get, depending on the brass, again it varies, you'll get 4 to 10 cleans off of every batch. So that's why that big bag lasts a long time. Now let me show you the difference. One reason you want to clean it, and the first thing you do after you fire it is, you collect your brass. Now this is, I cleaned all my 9mm, which I'll be working on, and this is 380, so you can tell there is a little difference. But I just want to show you the difference because all my 9 is clean. Look at these here, and hopefully you can see it pretty good. You can kind of see they're grimy and a little dirty, and got the gunpowder stuff, residue on it, and it has a little probably dirt from the ground and everything where you were shooting. After you polish it, look at the difference. I mean, that's a big difference. Besides cleaning it, when you're putting it into a die, it goes in and out of the die better, smoother. And if you have little dirt and grum on your brass, you could damage the die. So I always clean it first. Now, there is a wet tumble you can do with rock polishers. I wouldn't mind that someday, but I don't do that now. So, and you can see all of these still haven't been deprimed. What that means is I got a couple here primed. I'll show you. See how that little primer, this has a primer and this doesn't? That primer is a little pocket that when your hammer strikes it explodes, and it has all the other gunpowder, takes off and moves your projectile. These have been deprimed, okay? So what you do, I'll go the first step, and this video is just on the first step. It's not on everything. It's literally just the first thing you do. And let me loosen this up here. I'm going to over-exaggerate this to show you what I do. Okay, let me get a little closer here so you can see here pretty good. Okay, this whole die just screws out, okay? And you have different dies to do different things. This is the deprimer and reshapes the shell. You don't have to reshape the shell if you use the same ammo from the same gun every time. I do. I'm already priming it. I might as well, reshape the brass. Why not? So, and you can see this little metal thing sticking up, which knocks the primer out. What you want to do, you can hear my dog over there, she's going crazy, is screw this down just a little bit just to start it. You want to grab one of your brasses. Now, when you buy these kits, if you buy the three, oops. Okay, if you buy this 3 kit, you get a little seat, and every one of these die sets is different for every round. And same thing when this just holds the shell on place. And these come, if you buy the 3 set, come with it. And what you do is you just put it on, and when it's in here you can spin it if you're going to feed it right hand or left hand, whatever you want, or at an angle, whatever you want. But take one of your rounds, seat it in there. It's seated in there good. Take your arm, put it all the way down, okay? All the way down. And what you want to do now is spin this until it just touches, okay? Okay? Take your round out, okay? I forgot, I shouldn't have had that in, I apologize. I'll show you how it's seated. What you want to do is put it up and keep spinning it until it just kisses. Let's see if you can see this here. Sorry about this. look at right here, spin it, and you can see it just kisses it, okay? After it kisses it, bring it back about a quarter turn. That's what you want to do, okay? After it's bringing back a quarter turn, then you want to, what I do is I raise it up and I use this to hold it, and you spin this lock down, okay? You can tell she's fairly young the way she likes to run. And she's not running after anything either, she is just running. So, and do it hand tight, just so you know this isn't spinning here. Then, just take a pair of pliers, don't over taut it, hold this top so the whole thing doesn't spin, and just give it a little tight to make sure this doesn't go anywhere, and that's it. And what I always do is I raise it up to make sure it's the same level, okay? That's it, this die is now set. Now this has a quick release. If you hit this button on here, this whole assembly with the screw will come out and you can buy new assemblies. So this is set for the 9mm for this press 100% of the time. So that just makes it nice and easy. And here's how easy it is. You put it in, you raise it up, and you go down. You're done. Bring it down. There you go. It's deprimed and reshaped. Okay? You can see here it doesn't have the it has the primer in it and everything. You put it in, go down, raise it up. There it is. Now, what's happening is let me go here so you can see it from here. When this is going up, the primer is falling in this little pocket here and getting shot out. It is falling into this little pocket here from that hole right there, and it's being collected in this tube here, so it doesn't go all over the floor. So let me do this, a close-up one of the primer falling so you can see it. See that little brass fall? That's what that is. Now let me do another one showing you the brass, close-up of the brass. Go down here so you can see a little better. There. That's it. And there's almost no pressure or anything on it right there. It's pretty easy, and it's actually kind of nice and relaxing to do. You know, everybody says, oh, that takes a lot of time. You know, it actually doesn't. You can knock out quite a few, you know, real easy. I'm trying to do this with the, you know, the camera view and everything, so it's not as quick. But you can knock a lot out real quick like this. Then, what you want to do is, let me find a dirty one that really looks. These are all looking pretty good. That was a little bit. Okay. And then you want to clean, because remember we tumbled this with the primer in. I don't know if you can tell if you look in here, but it's kind of dirty and grimy. You can get a little hand primer, small pistol primer, large pistol primer, okay? All you do, and you can put this in a drill gun too, just chuck it in a grill. This is a small, just put it in here like this and give it a twist. That's it. What I usually do is I do a whole bunch of these when I'm sitting down watching a movie or a TV show. Then I'll just clean a whole bunch up at once. Now if you look in there, see how it's a lot cleaner in there. With that doing, you're just getting all the grime and grum out. Now, if your brass is really clean, you can deprime it first and resize it, then tumble it, and that'll help get a little of that up. Excuse me. What I don't like about that is the media kind of gets stuck in there a little bit, and I spend just as much time, you know, trying to blow and get the stuff out of there. But that's it. Basically, the whole first step is depriming, cleaning, you know, cleaning your brass, depriming and resizing it. The other two steps, what you're doing is you're adding the powder, opening up the end of the brass, you seat the bullet, and then another die crimps it shut to the right length. And we'll go over that in other videos. But that's with this right here, the Lee. It's really good. It's inexpensive. There's others ones These screw-on are basically interchangeable between manufacturers for the most part, but if you buy a Lee press and you buy a Lee die set, you know it'll work. But if you get like the Hornady or something, it should work. Just you can look online and it'll tell you the dies, what presses they work on and everything like that. And a lot of the press sites will say what dies will work, but usually it's best to look at the dies that work with what presses. But all Lees are the same, all Hornadys are the same. I like Lee, it's good quality, pretty inexpensive and everything like that to do too. So that's it, that's all there is to this first step. We'll get into the other stuff later. Everybody have a great day. I'm gonna go and knock a bunch of these out right now and then kind of cool this afternoon and go in and watch a movie and clean the primers like I said. Okay, I can tell you why reshaping is really good here. If you look at this round, see how part of it's flat right there? See what I mean? You can really see if I turn it how it's flat on one side. You put it in the shaper, you know, and shape it. And if it's really bad, you can do it twice, but one's just as good. If you look at it here, the thing is round now. Perfectly round. So if it's really bad when you put it in, if it's really flat, you probably don't want to do it because it'll stretch the brass. Just go in real slow until it catches, and then if you need to, hold it and then just do it once or twice, you know, if it's really bad, and then you know you get a good round. There. Okay guys, I know somebody's going to say about what kind of speed you can work on this, so I'm going to add this to the end. What I do when I'm working on this is I just get a podcast going. There's a great podcast called Cam & Co. It's like a daily news radio show that's, you can stream it online too. Just search for Cam, C-A-M & Co. They are the Second Amendment, basically radio talk show. And they got other news too. I always throw that or some good music on a podcast and just go. So, and I'll just work a few here so you can see it.
In a free society, you're going to hear things out of people's mouths that you disagree with.
And you don't have to bring it down all the way. So, just not enough to get your hand in there. That's all you're doing. Oops. You'll drop one now and then, that's fine. You don't have to stop and pick it up.
Very, very broad view to what is okay and what is not okay to say. And I think what we're seeing here again is a cultural pushback. Not necessarily, I'm sure there are a lot of people who...
You can see how this can get relaxing just listening to a good show and just working.
Disagree with Phil Robertson when it comes to homosexuality.
And I could show you this. When you do it, you know, you can see how it's a little tight. If I do it a second time, it's pretty easy. There's nothing to it because it's already resized. So.
Right? And I think that's what this is coming back down to, is one of the society. Again, it's not a First Amendment issue. It's not the government coming in. This is a business deciding, well, too controversial, we're going to step away. And again, there seems to be that cultural pushback. That doesn't always, that's not the right answer. Yeah, also keep in mind that for all of the alleged horror and shock part of it, they have like 4 or 5 episodes scheduled for their broadcast tonight. Well, yeah. So it's like, look, off the air, we're not going to make money. Well, and they're not pulling season 4. They're not re-editing season 4. He's there. So the idea that if we were cynical, we would think that A&E's playing this up in order to get attention and ratings and stuff like that. You know,
you can see how quick this is. I mean, just since I started here, you know, we've done 15, 20, you know, which is pretty easy to do. That's it. I'm just going to continue working on these for me. Just sit back and have a just nice, relaxing morning doing this. To me, it's real relaxing because most stuff on TV sucks, you know. And if you watch a lot of YouTube like me and you're watching this video, you probably think the same thing too. So that's it. Everybody have a great day.